Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Like I said, very, very brief break. Thank you so much for everybody that listened to us tonight. We're going to end the show now with our rants and our closings. Before we do that, I want to give a special thanks to a few people. I want to give a special thanks to Kia in Chesterfield. Special thanks to Alyssa P for listening to us tonight and joining us when she joins us from time to time on Ain't No Half Stepping with Marcus J. Peace to Hakeem. Peace to Sed. Peace to Alton. And peace to everybody else who listened to us tonight. I wish I could name everybody, but I can't. I want to say shout out to the people in Baltimore, all up and down the East Coast that's dealing with this weather that we're dealing with. Hopefully my fam in Jersey City, everybody is safe. Thank you to everybody once again who's kicking it with us. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. So as we do every single week, we go around the room and we are going to start with the dating pool diva for our final words, our rants and our closings. Diva, what you got, girl?
I just wanted to say thank you to the ladies that called in. I appreciate that. I think it brought a balance to our show with all this testosterone in the room.
Even when they just decided against you, right?
Even when they sided against me. We had some female estrogen in the room from those calls, so I appreciate that. Just basically my quick spiel on Facebook. Please check out the Dating Pool blog. It's a really hot group that we have on Facebook, and everybody seems to enjoy it, especially Music Mondays. Every Monday we do music, and sometimes it's related to relationships, sometimes it's just random stuff. So, check us out. We post all kinds of relationship videos and posts. It's a fun place to be. Also, you can check out all of my stuff on www.freespiritenterprisesco.biz, where all my stuff is showcased. My books, my dating pool blog, organic creations, and jewelry by design. So check out all of my stuff on Free Spirit Enterprises. And that's basically, all I had to say. Thank you for joining me with the Diva Diaries tonight, and I hope to be here next month as usual.
Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. We're going to keep it moving, go around the room. Carlton Banks, brother, it's not unusual.
You know what? This weather got people tripping. You got people still going out, doing everything that they normally do. I want to give a shout out to all those people who are currently working at the Wally Worlds, the Target, Kmart if you still got them, the grocery stores, the fast food places, all of them. Yeah. Sickos, Wally Marts, all these things. Wawas, yeah. I know they're not paying us, Marcus, but I want to give a shout out to those people in particular because of the simple fact where you got state agencies, schools, and other companies that are currently closed due to the weather. These people who don't get a lot of money, who are making minimum wage, living off of whatever little means of money they have based off of their pay scale. Hey, they're out at work right now making sure that something is there for you and that you can go out and get what you need from them and from these stores. I know somebody else made the decision whether or not they do go to work and had to come to work, but again, these people took it out of their time and their busy day not to call in sick and say, hey, I'm going to be there so that you can get your bread, milk, and everything else that goes inside with this type of weather. Shout out to you guys. Thank you. I appreciate you. Have a good day.
All right, that's Carlton's Corner. It's not unusual. Big Rube, you made me a little annoyed a minute ago, but that's all right, man. You can get that because you my man, and I ain't gonna share with everybody what you did.
Oh, they gonna know. I'm gonna tell them.
You gonna tell them?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell them.
All right, well, go ahead, Big.
First of all, big up to Marcus J for changing my music at the last minute because we got some anger going on today, and I feel like some Rage Against the Machine.
So you ready to smash?
Oh, most definitely. I'm ready to smash today.
All right, well, let's smash, brother.
Now, normally I talk about things of what we should do and things that are kind of funny, but today this is serious. If this is the only thing you capture today out of the show, you need to capture this. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason why our country is in the position that it is not because of the president, it's not because of the vice president, it is not because of the president's wife or any president or whoever you put in. Let's be honest. Congress is the problem, ladies and gentlemen. Did you know that there are people in the House of Representatives who've been there for 40 years? 40 years. That's right. 40. Like, they've been there longer than I've been alive. Do you think they know what the country's going through? They probably knew like in their 10th or 12th year, but they don't know anything now. Look, why is it such that the leader, as they say, leader of the free world, has a term limit and Congress don't? Are you kidding me? Congress is the reason why things can't get passed. Congress is the reason why, regardless of whether it's a Democratic Congress or a Republican Congress, things can't get done. The reason why the budget has not been done is because of Congress. They don't want to go ahead and agree on a budget. The president is a proverbial figurehead who has a little bit of power. But when it's all said and done, if he can't get from the House of Representatives to the Senate and the Senate to the president, it cannot go into law. Ladies and gentlemen, it's basic civics. You sit here talking about, oh, Obama did this, Obama did that, he didn't do none of this, blah, blah. Bush didn't do it either. It's Congress who did it. Congress does all the work. The people that we elect on our level do all this work. If old man Joe has been in Congress for 60 years, do you think he knows what the country's going through right now? Hell no. He's just happy getting fat and old. I mean, let's just be real. We got more people in Congress that are over the age of 60 than we do in governorships around the country. People. Term limits. Why do you have to sit in here for 40 years and do nothing for the last 30? I'm sick of it. I'm over it. And the only way that's going to change is if we change it. Because let's be real. If you were in Congress, would you say, yeah, you can only stay here 8 years when you collecting that money? Please, you ain't never getting out. You stay in here forever. And ever and ever until you die. So, ladies and gentlemen, I say that to say this. Congress, term limits. Senate, term limits. People, we need to be smart. We need to be intelligent. I mean, you don't need a high school education to know that what's going on here is horrible. It is not the president's fault. It's not the Joint Chiefs of Staff. It is the people we call House of Representatives, Senate, Congressmen, the people who sit there, kiss babies and shake your hand. I'm going to do this for you. Then you turn around and they vote for something different. Get the F out of here, man. I'm over this, and I'm sick of seeing it. So, hashtag Congress term limits. Hashtag Congress term limits. Hashtag Senate term limits. People, we need to be smart. It is time for us to, quote unquote, take back our country, because you know what? The president doesn't have it. It's those 100 and some guys up in Washington called Congress who have it. Get smart. Pay attention. Let's give them some term limits. I'm out till next week.
Big Roo smashing for real. Like when you said that you was gonna smash, you really meant you was gonna smash, didn't you?
Most definitely. I'm sick of it.
That's what's up, man. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for that nice segue, because you know how I get down. You know, my rant is very, very similar, and it's apropos that I get to follow you tonight, particularly, but week after week at this time. So I'm gonna go ahead and say my piece, and here we are, of course, a week before Election Day, and some people are actually saying this is the biggest election of our time. You know, 4 years ago was the biggest election of our time then, but now it really is, because the next president is going to appoint 1 to 3 Supreme Court justices. I want to make sure that people understand that, whether you're an independent, a Democrat, or a Republican, keep that in mind, because the things that you see going on in the world today, imagine what it's going to be like in the next 20 years, because that's how long these people sit. So let's first start there. Do we continue on the path that we began 3.5 years ago with this current president, or do we reverse, scrap the path, return to the Republican Party's plan? You know, that's the question. Depending on what candidate you support, you're probably very excited about the polls. If you aren't happy about the end of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, you'll probably vote against Barack Obama. If you're living in a world where the United States is hated and viewed as a bully, and that's what you want, you should probably vote for the opponent of Barack Obama. If you're unmoved by the killings of Osama bin Laden and Muammar Gaddafi, you think the candidate the Republicans tout is a better choice than Barack Obama. If you think rich folks should pay less taxes than poor people, even if you are one of those poor people, you probably don't like candidate Barack Obama and will vote for his opponent. If you think being taken to the emergency room for an ailment because the health care bill is too expensive, even though it helps more people than it hurts, you probably think President Obama is crazy for feeling so strongly about it. If you think it's okay for Republican leaders to say they want President Obama to be a one-term president before he even moved into the White House, you think the Republican nominee is the way to go. If you like being told by a candidate that he'll sanction China for stealing our jobs, then send jobs there via a company he owns, you think the former governor is the way to go. If you think the so-called war on women is a media-created farce, I'd remind you that the president's opponent said that he'd get rid of Planned Parenthood and he'd repeal Roe versus Wade. If you like being told that 47% of the country is a bunch of beggars, even though most of us are part of that 47%, you should probably vote for the guy that told you he doesn't respect you, even though he said it behind your back. If you like being told Obamacare will be repealed one day, then some parts will be kept, then told again it's going to be repealed, and you kind of like flip-floppers, I'm sure the right will appreciate your vote. If you think that leadership is agreeing with what most of the president's statements in the debate, and then you kill him in ads, you think the governor will be a greater leader. If you think embarrassing our country by insulting our closest ally during the Olympics is the way to show leadership, I guess you've made your mind up about who you're going to vote for. If you think that 537 votes caused the trouble we had in Florida in 2000, you think that that was a problem, then you need to vote. If you think 14,000 votes that President Obama won North Carolina by in 2008 was nothing, then consider that number works out to approximately 5 votes per precinct. If you think your vote doesn't matter, ask the widow of Medgar Evers and the children of Dr. King and the families of our many predecessors. And finally, if you think there's a single sane, undecided voter left, man, you a bigger conspiracy theorist than I am. That's the Murr. Marcus's unrelated rant. It ain't got nothing to do with what we've been here talking about tonight. It's the end of the show. I think we've made our position clear with regards to voter suppression. Keep in mind, you have a right. Exercise it. If you don't, shut the hell up. I want to say peace to all the stars and all the squares. In the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. Ain't no half stepping, Marcus J. We'll be back next week. Peace.